These are the RTR side rocker splitters, and they're available for all 2024 and newer Mustangs. Now you guys should be checking out the RTR options here for your S650 if you're looking to add a little bit more muscle to the sides of your ride while keeping things, I would say, pretty subtle at the same time. Now the RTR options here will combine that injection molded ASA plastic along with a satin black finish, all for right around the $750 price point. Big feature here will be the added appearance to your S650, but again, in a subtle and tasteful way. Now, RTR has really done a good job of kind of creating parts that complement the existing lines of the Mustang, but without being too over the top or maybe too gaudy. Now, their lineup of parts for the S650 is a perfect example of that, including these side splitters that we have here today. That's because when installed, I think these build off of the existing side skirts on your ride and add, again, a little bit more of that muscle by themselves. Or if you really wanted to crank up the look, you could always pair these up with the RTR chin or maybe even the RTR matching rear quarter splitters. Now, another big feature here is that they will install rather easily using the included hardware, as we'll show you a little later in the video. Now moving into our construction block, guys, and what I can say here is expect an OE level of build quality and fitment with the RTR splitters. Now, having known Vaughn personally for a number of years, he is very particular with how the RTR parts are made, and I do mean that in the best possible way, right? He just wants Mustang owners to have the best possible experience with the RTR parts, and this is a perfect example of that. Now, these particular splitters do include the OE CAD designing process here, which basically ensures a factory-like fit, and also they are going to utilize that ASA injection molded plastic to deliver a finished product that is easily on par with the factory plastic found around the exterior of your S650. Now, finally, everything has been finished off in satin black, and they do include a hardware kit here needed to get these parts installed. Quickly talking price point here, guys, with the RTR splitters, this product will land around that $750 price point, give or take here for the pair, which does put these on the more premium side of the side splitter category, coming in more expensive than options from companies like MP Concepts, for instance. But regardless, never a bad idea to check out the rest of our selection before making your final decision. All right, last but not least, let's move into the installation portion of today's video. Site's gonna call this a solid 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, taking you a couple of hours or so to complete from start to finish. But now to give you a better idea of how this one might go down on your S650 at home or in the driveway, let's throw it out to the garage for our detailed walkthrough and tool breakdown.
Tools required for this install include double-sided tape, clip remover tool, scissors or diagonal cutters, a right angle drill, 17/64 and 31/64 inch drill bits, a ratchet, and a 10mm socket. What's up, guys? Today we're installing splitters on our Mustang, so let's get started. Now before we install our new splitters, we're gonna have to hop underneath the Mustang and remove all the clips in our side skirt. There's gonna be a bunch of them going front to back. It's gonna be the same uninstall procedure for all of them. So now we're gonna get a clip remover tool. This is what our clip looks like. So we're gonna have to get under this top section. We're gonna pull up to release that clip, and then we can just pull towards the center of the car and slide it out of our side skirt. So now get your clip remover tool underneath that clip. You can use your pinch weld here as a pivot point, and just pull to pop that out. And then you can pull down on your side skirt here, and you're just gonna pull backwards on that clip to slide it out. And then you're just going to repeat that same process for the rest of the clips in your side skirt. So now I'm going to explain how this splitter is going to get mounted up to our side step before we get down there. Now we have holes in the front here that we are going to have to drill into our factory side skirt. We're going to line this up, and then we're going to use a drill to drill a small pilot hole through this hole, and then we're going to pull it back off, and we're going to drill a 31/64 inch hole for our well nuts. Now the way these are gonna work is we're gonna push these up into the hole in the side skirt that we drilled, and then through the bottom of this splitter, we're gonna slide this bolt through just like that. Now, as you thread this bolt into that well nut, when you start to tighten it, it's gonna pinch this well nut up and it's gonna act kind of like a riv nut. Now, where we pulled the holes out, where we pulled those clips out of these square holes, we're gonna replace with these push clips that are included in the kit. Now, for demonstration purposes, I'm not gonna be drilling into our side skirt, so in place of that, I'm gonna be using some double-sided tape. So I'm just gonna run a strip right down along where our bolt holes are. That's gonna hold the front side up. Now, for you at home, you are gonna have to drill those holes to get a good mounted install, and then we'll just use those clips in these square holes like I said before. So now I'm just gonna lay my strip of double-sided tape just right behind those cutouts for the bolts. And once again, for you at home, you're gonna be drilling into your side skirt, so you're not gonna have to do this. You can if you want to for a little more added strength. And then once I get to the end, just take a pair of scissors or diagonal cutters, cut your tape off, and then I'm just gonna pick up the edge here and lay it over. That way we have some of the backing to grab onto once we have this up into place so that we can peel. And then just go ahead and do that same exact thing on the other side, just in case the backing were to rip, you have the other side that you can start pulling from. So now I'm just gonna take my splitter here and raise this up into place. Now we've got really good fitment on this, so it locates itself very well. Then you're gonna take a right angle drill. It's gonna make your life a lot easier. You're gonna go underneath into those holes in the front that I pointed out earlier, and you're gonna drill your pilot hole. Once you have all your pilot holes drilled, you can lower this back down, and then you're gonna switch over to that 31/64 inch drill bit, and you're gonna go to those holes that you just drilled out, and you're just gonna open them up to that 31/64. And then once your holes are opened up to 31/64, you're gonna take your well nuts. We've got the thinner side is gonna go into the side skirt, so you're just gonna press them up from the bottom. Get all of those installed, and then we can lift up our splitter here. We'll get our bolts to thread into those well nuts, and then we'll get our clips that are going through these square holes up into our factory locations. So now I'm gonna raise the splitter up into the side skirt. I'm gonna get it nice and lined up, and then I'm gonna pull my double-sided tape to hold it. If you have a floor jack, I would recommend getting that in the middle here just to hold it up and make it a little easier to thread your bolts in. And then I'm gonna get a few of our push clips installed just so that it holds for now, and then we'll go back underneath and show you exactly what that looks like. So now raise your splitter up into place. I'm just gonna kind of wedge my foot in there. And once you have it seated, I'm gonna start pulling my double-sided tape back in. I'm gonna grab one of my clips, just throw in the hold right now. And now we can hop underneath and we'll get a closer look at those clips going in. So now we're just gonna hop underneath, find those square holes, and then the circle hole in them. Push your clip through, and then push that center section of the clip in, and we're just gonna do that for the rest of those holes. And then on the outer edge of your splitter, you're gonna take your bolt into those circle holes, thread it into that well nut, and then once you have that threaded in, just take your 10mm socket, tighten that all the way down, and do that for the remainder of your outer holes. So that'll wrap up this review and install of the RTR side rocker splitters for your 2024 and newer Mustang. Thank you for watching, and for all things Mustang, keep it right here at AmericanMuscle.com.